Hey, everybody. Hello, hello, and welcome to the Team Up Monday Night Zoom. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope that you enjoyed your Super Bowl yesterday, whatever team you're rooting for. I hope that it was fun, a fun time for you. And I'm so glad you're here because this has kind of been heavy on my heart for a long time now, as I think you guys know that I like to educate. I love to educate about the product. I love to educate about a food first approach to health. But I think what really owns my heart is educating people about mindset and how we can achieve success. So, this is just a couple excerpts from a program that I did last summer. I was asked to open the conference in San Antonio, and I did with my Aging Backwards program. And then they asked me to close it. So I don't know, I opened and closed. It was an ordeal, not an ordeal, but it was a bit challenging. But in any case, this is what was put on my heart last year, and I called it Stay in Line. And so what I'm about to share with you tonight, it's not about judgment, my friends. It's not about when I share some of this information about you're feeling guilty or absolutely no room for shame. What tonight it's about awareness. And so let me tell you why I called it Stay in Line, because I've been with the Juice Plus company now almost 31 years. And in that span of time, I've seen people come and go. I've seen people, get to a level in Juice Plus and struggle because they can't seem to go and grow any further. And then the grass seems to be greener on the other side of the fence, and they jump over, and they never seem to acquire or have any other more success in that other company. Or maybe they leave the industry altogether and walk down another street, but still not going and growing and developing that success that they're looking for. So, what if I told you that psychology tells us that success, regardless of whatever endeavor you choose it to be, is 80% between your ears? It is 80% psychology and only 20% skills. Wow. So here's a teaching nugget for you. Regardless of where you go, write this down. Wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. And so, what is this psychology? What does this mean? Well, this is something that I learned about from Bob Proctor 30 years ago, and then Tony Robbins, and then I guess Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, and Wallace Waddles. There's a name from the past, and Marcus Aurelius, all the Greeks and all the Romans. So, what is your psychology? Well, your psychology is your mindset. It's a it's the sum total of your beliefs and your values and your identity and your expectations and your attitudes. It's your habits, it's your decisions and your opinions, and it's your thought patterns. And maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll take a look at the thought patterns that have been handed to you since you were a child, paradigms. Okay, it's about all of this. It's how you think about yourself and others and how you think life works. And it's the filter through which you interpret what you see, but also what you experience. Because here's what it is, friends. Your psychology, your mindset shapes your life and draws to you results that are in exact reflection of your psychology and mindset. What you believe will happen will happen. So I'm going to ask you, when you think about your psychology, your mindset, and we don't spend very much time delving into this, and we need to. Is your psychology about growth, about gratitude, about contribution? Is it about joy? Is it about possibility? Or do you have a mindset of limitation? Are you aware? And so those are some of the things that we're going to look at, on the Team Up Monday night call. It's never going to take up the full 30 minutes, but it's going to be nuggets here and there. So I'm going to take you to this. I'm not doing a training on the marketing plan, but I'm going to use this as a teaching tool for tonight. because I love the caption at the top, picture the possibilities. You know, when I started as a partner in this company, and I think you know the story, you know, I was really good at getting customers. I was not so good at growing team. Why? Because I had a psychology, a mindset of limitation. But when I saw this image, and the more that I talked to David and other people, I I made a decision that I was going to get to the top position of this company. And I knew that I was totally not prepared for that. At that time, my mindset was all about what was wrong with me, the victim card. You don't know how hard life has been for me. But what I learned pretty quickly was that unless I changed my attitudes, my beliefs, my habits, my mindset, my psychology, I was never going to move through this marketing plan. And so I made National Marketing Director my dream and my intention. My goal was always just the very next step. I always knew exactly where I was, and I always knew exactly what it was going to take for me to get to the next level. And so I think that's an important difference for you to recognize. The dream was the top position. The goal was just the next step. So who did I need to become? What did I need to do? What did I need to have to get to the next step? So this is pretty much what my journey to my national marketing director looked like. And this is what started to shape my psychology. Somebody said to me once, you know, oh, you faked it until you made it. And I said, no, I faced it. I faced all the fear as I kept moving through the marketing plan. So this is what it looked like. This was my journey. I would get up, I would work hard because I knew what my next step was, and I would fail often. But here's where the growth comes in. And remember, all there is, either your health or life, is growth or decay. It's one or the other. So here's the deal. I would stand back up, I would brush myself off, and I would face it again. And my friends, that's where the growth comes in. Every single time you walk through the fear and you face it again and you do it again, that's when you're starting to move into a possibility mindset, because you're starting to engage and develop new neural pathways. Every time you stand back up and you face it again, you're strengthening your belief about yourself and what you're capable of doing. New neural pathways, developing growth. This is the process. So I would do it again. And this time I would do it a little better. I would tell the story a little better. I knew how to ask better questions. I realized it was not about me. I learned to shut my mouth. Excuse me, I don't mean to be rude here, but I learned to ask questions of people. I learned to genuinely be interested in what was going on with the other person. And you know what happened? I would fail, but not as often. And I would get back up, rinse and repeat. So, you know, I did a training a long time ago that said that, you know, the formula for success is intention, belief, and action. And I think it's really all summed up right there. And so this is what I know about success, is that you have to do what your subconscious mind tells you not to do. You must do what the subconscious mind tells you not to do. I don't know if it was Van Gogh or Picasso, but it was one of the great artists, painters, that said, and I use this a lot in my trainings, he said, you know, when the voice in your head says, stop, do not paint, he said, that's when I know I must pick up my brush and paint. So this is how we start to develop a new mindset. So we have to make some decisions. We have to make decisions. And that's something we don't ever do. We have to make decisions about what is it that you want to be, what is it that you want to do, and what is it that you want to have in your life. And it's a shame that we don't spend time there. This is one of my favorite quotes. It's from Gary Blair. I use this, I've been using this for 30 years, but success is the intentional, premeditated use of choice and decision. Unless you choose with certainty what you want, you will accept table scraps by default. And that's why, guys, wherever you go, there you are, unless you start doing some work and becoming aware of your mindset and of your psychology. And more is lost in indecision than in the wrong decision. Listen, I wish I could see all your faces right now, because I would like, how many of you have made the decision about San Diego? How many of these are a strong yes or a strong no? You know, and that's what Jeff Roberti taught me, and talk about being a student of Tony Robbins. He said, give me a strong yes or a strong no. And more is lost in indecision. How many of you are still sitting on the fence? It's a month out. Strong yes or a strong no? Hey, if you're still on the fence, talk to me. I want to push you off the fence. It's time to make a decision. All right, so decision time. You don't have a problem to solve. You have a decision to make. So I hope that you have a piece of paper there. I hope you have a piece of paper, because I want you to write across it. Be, do, have. What is it that you want to have? What is it that you want to, who is it that you want to become? What is it that you want to do? If you spend some time, and that's why I journal. David Beavers gave me the greatest gift of all 30 years ago when he said, Terri, you have got to start journaling. And I journal sometimes 3 pages every morning. And it's all about, well, for me, it's gratitude, but I'm setting my plan for the day. I'm setting my plan for the week. It really is about, what do I want to be, do, and have. And I have a very profound spiritual practice that every single morning, I mean, I know I'm not walking this journey alone. I have a very, very, very in-depth, profound surrender practice that I do. But I'm going to tell you, it's what keeps my psychology and my mindset in flow and in growth and in gratitude and in joy. So I want you to think about the first one, have. Okay, what would you like? What would you like to have? All right, and I want you to let your imagination run wild. That's something else. We don't flex our imagination muscle. And I'm not talking about the Lamborghini, unless, unless that's what you really want. Okay, but what is it that you want to have? I mean, guys, I'm still driving the same car that I've had for 15 years. All right? Depreciating assets do not speak to me. All right? But I want you to think about, what do you want to have? And like, I made the decision that I want a new sofa in my living room. I want to actually just want to have it reupholstered. Okay? I made the decision that I wanted a new dishwasher. I knew exactly which dishwasher I wanted. So write some things down. Use your imagination. And God, this is something else. Timid is not a virtue. So be bold enough to claim what it is that you want to have. And I'm going to ask this, what do you want your paycheck to look like? What do you want your bank accounts to look like? What would you like your credit card debt to be? And I see so many people go, oh, Terri, I don't want to get paid to do this. So let me tell you what I think money is, what I know. Money, it's an idea, it's an instrument, it's a tool. But write this down. Money is a reward received for services rendered. Money is a reward received for services rendered. Money is a reflection of the value that you bring to the world. Does it make you a better person? No. Does it give you options, freedom, and peace? Absolutely. And I learned this 30 years ago. This was put on my heart. The more service that you render, the more value that you bring, the more prosperous you will be. So make some decisions. What would you like that to look like for you? Also, I think right now, take a look at what annoys you. Take a look at what annoys you. Because what you tolerate, you invite. For years, I tolerated a mirror that had a crack in it. And it would bother me, bother me, bother me. And what I realized that it was bothering me, and if I didn't take care of it, then other things would start to bother me. Pay attention to what are you tolerating. All right. So, okay, let's talk about do. Do. That's a verb. It's an action. What would you like to do? I mean, go on trips. Uh, maybe do more events. Gift others more often. Travel. What is it that you would like to do with your life? And this is what I want you to know. As you sow in your subconscious mind, so shall you reap in your life. So this is just important work. Think, feel, and act as if you are already in ownership of everything that you are writing down. And then be. Be is the most important one. Be, do, and have. Be is the most important one. I hope that everybody on this call wants to be at least a sales coordinator with a qualified business. Don't leave anything on the table. But be joyful. Be grateful. When you start doing this kind of introspective work, your gratitude will explode. Your joy will explode. Be, do, and have. And who do you need to become so that you can have some of the things that you have put on this list? Be, do, and have. Make some decisions for your life. All right, so that's where we're going to leave right now. I'm going to stop share. I hope you wrote down some good notes. I hope that in some small way this blessed you and made you stop and think, because awareness, my friends, is the first law of learning. Okay, awareness. What is your mindset? What is your psychology? And how can we stay tapped into the psychology of possibility? Okay, I hope that does anybody want to unmute themselves and have questions? Because I have a little something that I want to share with you that I'm sharing with every single one of my preferred customers. All right, be, do, and have. Once a month, we'll plug in and we'll take a look, keep going and growing with mindset work. All right, okay. So, you know how I think it was 2 weeks ago, I shared with you a 3-minute nugget of Voxer message. And so I've been, in the archives looking for short messages, because if you guys remember the day, some of you do, when we were on a different site, and we'd get voice comm messages every single day that kept building our belief, building our belief. Well, I found a 3-minute message from Debbie Walton, and it's all about heart health, Juice Plus, and heart health. I am sending it to every single one of my preferred customers this week as a Valentine thank you. And I'm also sending it to prospects who are still on the fence. Now, know that Debbie received her nutrition certification from Cornell. And I will post this on, I think I already put it on the Team Up Facebook page, but I want you to listen because it's quite powerful. Kathy, do you want to run with that?
Chances are your life has already been touched by cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure. My mom had a heart attack when she was 29. I was 5 years old, and she died when I was 13. She was only 36. When her mother got the phone call that her only daughter had died, she had a massive heart attack that would affect me the rest of my life because my grandmother took me in and raised me. And I saw how she was weakened by having approximately 40% of her heart knocked out from vascular constriction in her case due to stress. Stress harms you guys. So fast forward when I started studying nutrition, awakened by the desire to trump my genes as I got older and realized that lifestyle really can trump genetics 75 to 90% of the time. I saw Juice Plus published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. That rocked my world a little bit. I was intrigued by that. That is the top cardiology journal in America. University of Maryland took participants through a fast food meal, a fast food restaurant, and gave them a high fat meal. Is that not how Americans eat, sadly? And had their blood flow tested because scientists already knew that high fat meals can cause vascular constriction, a significant constriction, narrowing of the arteries by over 40 to 60% for 4 to 6 hours. That means less blood flow, less oxygen to the brain, the heart, throughout the body. And so they saw this reduction with this high fat meal. They divided the participants into 3 groups: placebo, fruit and veg plant powders, fruit, veg, and berry concentrated plant powders. And just 4 weeks later, they gave them the same high fat meal, and hang on to these results. The placebo had the same dangerous constriction. The fruit and veg group reduced their constriction by an amazing 68%. But listen to this, when you added the powerful berries, so they were taking the fruit, veg, and berry, it reduced that constriction to under 1%. When people ask me, should they add the berries? I say only if you want incredible protection. So since most Americans will die of cardiovascular disease, approximately 1 every 35 seconds, how many have died since you've listened to this message? This is important research. These plant powders are published in over 40 research studies in top medical, sports, and nutrition journals, you guys, showing not just improved arterial function, but great reduction in inflammation, DNA protection, so much more. Don't you want to add as much protection to your diet as you can? I hope that you will add the fruit, veg, berry, and our newest and maybe the most powerful, the omega, today.
Bam. Isn't that powerful? So that's available to you. Make sure I get that to you. If you're not on Voxer or if you didn't see it on Facebook, just reach out to me and I'll make sure that you have it. Just know coming up, Jen and Henry Hageman, Mindset Diet, this week. What, Wednesday, Jen and Henry?
Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Fabulous, fabulous program.
Yeah.
I know Thursday night, an opportunity call the company is doing. That looks absolutely amazing. Next Tuesday night, the amazing Amy Hopkins and myself sitting on a stool talking about heart disease and heart health. That's coming. The last Tuesday night of the month, I'm back with Abby Nowlin, and we're doing Make the American Family Healthy Again. Mom's on a mission, because let me tell you, that scored so many wins. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. I heard this 30 years ago. It literally made me cry 30 years ago. I hope it doesn't bring tears, but here it goes. My Life in 5 Simple Chapters by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. Oh gosh, I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. This isn't my fault. There was the victim card Terri kept throwing. It's not my fault. It takes forever to find my way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. Dang, I fall in again. I can't believe it. I'm in the same place. Oh, but still, it's not my fault. Still takes me a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it. Dang, I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open now. I know where I am. It's my fault, and I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. Peace and blessings, everybody. See you next week. Take care. Love you. Mindset.